So we're going back to 1800, the year 1800. Thomas Jefferson elected president, okay? And Aaron Burr is the vice president. Now, they didn't run on the same ticket. Back then, the states were responsible for voting for president. Didn't have a popular vote, had no way to tabulate it. So Jefferson and Burr, I mean, they didn't really like each other, were from opposing parties. And Jefferson really had suspicions about Burr, who eventually exposed himself as one of the great American scoundrels of all time. Fast forward to 1804, Jefferson runs for president again. He fires Burr, okay, because he loathed him by that point, all right? And he puts New York Governor George Clinton as VP. Jefferson wins. Burr then vanishes out west and concocts a scheme to seize land west of the Appalachians, west of the Mississippi. Much of that land was under control of Spain, which ran Mexico. I know it's getting a little confusing now, but there was no Central American authority at that point in history west of the Appalachian Mountains. Burr wanted to set up his own government with him as a dictator. Jefferson immediately said, Burr is committing treason. Publicly said it. President of the United States, treason. My former vice president is treasonous. Trying to do this. So Burr's arrested. All right? And he's tried in a federal court in Virginia for treason. Now, in the meantime, Burr had assassinated, maybe that's the wrong word, Alexander Hamilton in a duel in Weehawken, New Jersey, which overlooks Manhattan. All right, that became before this treason stuff. But Burr was widely loathed by everybody. Enter the judge of the treason trial, John Marshall. Does that name ring a bell? First Supreme Court Justice, John Marshall, presides over the treason trial in Virginia that is accusing Aaron Burr. Now, if Burr were found guilty, Jefferson wanted him executed. That wouldn't have happened. They probably would have banished him or deported him or something. I don't think they would have hung him, but they might have. They could have. So Marshall and Thomas Jefferson were cousins. You didn't know that, did you? I didn't know that, but I've been researching this like crazy. They did not like each other. Now, Jefferson was not a real likable guy. Marshall was a very smart guy. Anyway, Marshall directs the trial to acquit Aaron Burr. He's the big guy in the courtroom, Marshall. And the jury goes along with it. Aaron Burr is found not guilty. Jefferson goes wild. Now, some historians, the shallow ones, said that Marshall directed the trial to get Burr off because he hated Jefferson. That's not true. Marshall was so smart, and if you read anything about him, if you look at his record, if you look at his life, this is a brilliant guy. He knew that if Thomas Jefferson could put a noose around Aaron Burr's neck, that any politician could be in the same situation, carrying on. He knew. Because the evidence against Burr was overwhelming. Burr did it. But the witnesses were flimsy, and it was Jefferson driving this train. So Marshall said, no, not going to give political parties or one or two men the power to eliminate political opposition through the justice system. Nobody knows this, but this is the key to the Trump situation. All right? Now, this is why you watch and listen to me, because you find this nowhere else. So we fast forward now into 2023. I, your humble correspondent, am thoroughly convinced The charges against Donald Trump in total are politically motivated. Okay? I have studied them. I know that in New York City, the district attorney, Alvin Bragg, would not have prosecuted this Stormy Daniels case for anybody else. Here in New York City, heavyweight drug dealers don't get prosecuted. Criminals found with loaded weapons on their person don't get prosecuted because Bragg doesn't believe in incarceration. So this Stormy Daniels thing, never. And Bragg has not even said what the federal law violation is after all of this time. So that is totally bogus. That goes out the window, politically motivated. The January 6th stuff by the special counsel, Smith, is theoretical. Trump knew the election was legit, but lied about it to keep power. I don't believe that for a second, and I don't believe Smith can prove that. Particularly if Mike Pence said in court what he said on television. He goes, White House didn't tell me to do anything unlawful. I heard all this from the media. Now, Trump wanted Pence to delay the electoral count, no doubt, because Trump was told by his attorney, John Eastman, that was constitutional. That'll be presented in court. So Smith's accusation that Trump knew he lost the election but lied about it is flimsy to say the least. And most prosecutors never would have brought that case. Unless he's got something that we haven't seen, and maybe he does. All right? Mar-a-Lago, Trump did it. If you read my message of the day, I don't understand this to this day. Just send the blinking documents back to the National Archives. What do you care? I don't get it. He did it. Now you'll go, what about Biden? What about when they confronted Biden? Biden said, take anything you want back. All right? But Obama had him, but Obama didn't resist. Trump resisted. Why? So that case has got to stand. It's already brought. Supreme Court's not going to throw it out. And the Georgia thing is just insane. If you read that indictment, it's 19 people. It's again theoretical, totally theoretical. We need to find 11,000 what votes. Fine, what does that mean? There's reasonable doubt about what that sentence means. And Fani Willis waited 2.5 years to file that because that was the Democratic strategy. Hit him here, hit him there, and hit him here. That's political. So John Marshall, if he were the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court today, would know all this. And John Roberts does as well, as do the other 8 Supreme Court justices. They know this is politically driven. That's not to exonerate Donald Trump. I'm not exonerating him. He handled it poorly, a number of ways. All right? He did. If you're going to tell me he didn't, then I don't think you're in the real world, although I respect your opinion. I'm not going to denigrate you for holding an opinion that Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong or whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. But the facts show he could have easily handled this in another way, and avoided all this grief for him and the Republican Party. That's what I say in the message, and I hope everybody reads it on BillO'Reilly.com. All right, so summing up. Trump has to get a constitutional attorney, the best in the world. So maybe there's somebody living abroad. Has to do that. He's got to get these cases in front of the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court would pretty much do what John Marshall did with Jefferson Burr. Say, this is politically motivated. These charges are flimsy. Can't do it with Mar-a-Lago, so I would plea that. Trump, don't think he's ever going to plea out, but I would. If I were him, I'd say, I made a mistake. I should have acted quicker. I had no malice. I didn't do anything to hurt national security, which he didn't. This is all about him not following the rules. And he didn't. So if you can get that out, then the Supreme Court can come in and say, you know, this is unconstitutional in a variety of ways, but you need a very smart attorney to present that case. All right? You got any questions at all? Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. We will put aside some space tomorrow, some time and space to answer any of your questions about this week, and that is the memo. The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped a whopping 20%. 2023 could be worse. You are right to be worried. So call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I've been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers and have the highest rating in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.